Welcome to Carolyn and Friends, episode 4. Carolyn is continuing with her lifeguard career, and in order to progress her career further, she is at the library reading charisma books. She actually makes more progress reading charisma or doing athletic training than she does when she's patrolling the beach and rescuing Sims. And of course, a part of charisma is to meet other Sims and make friends, because you need a certain number of friends to be able to progress up the charisma skill. And she's come across a Sim in the library who she's taken advantage of meeting and is trying to befriend them. So she's naturally going to pursue the poor Sim all around the library until they run off and she can't follow them. She's quite determined to get to the top of her career. Carolyn's lifetime wish is seaside saviour. She needs to rescue 50 Sims as a lifeguard. She also wants to get to the top of her career. And to get to the top of the career, she needs to be good with charisma and athletic skill. Now, I'm doing a lot of videos at the moment, and I've been on a personal quest for the past 2 or 3 years with my Sims 3 games, in that I've been trying to do everything that I haven't done before. And one of the things I've decided to pursue are the badges. I probably won't ever get all of them, but in this game we're after the Isla Paradiso badges that I haven't yet achieved. Now, as we can see there, Carolyn is snorkeling because she needs to get her diving skill up high enough to be able to go diving, because she's got to go and get some kelp, because she's on a quest to find an island, Refuge Island in particular. Now, the badges I'm looking for are Shark's Mark, where she needs to beat 3 sharks in a fight. Never Again, which is a silver badge, and it is to run a 0-star resort for 7 days. Born Explorer, find 5 hidden islands, and that's the part of the quest she's currently doing with this snorkeling. It's several of the islands you need to be able to dive, and actually one island you need to be level 10 in the diving skill. So she's actually working towards the Born Explorer badge at the moment. Another one is High Class Hotel, which is a platinum badge. That's to run a 5-star resort for 7 days. Now, to get that badge to actually trigger, you need to have a household with only 1 Sim in it, which is why Carolyn is living alone. Here she is at work. She just rescued a Sim from drowning, and that's the only type of rescue that counts towards her lifetime wish. She must actually rescue them from drowning while working as a lifeguard. Another badge that she's looking for in the Isla Paradiso badges is Juice Cruise, which is to throw 5 parties on a houseboat. Now, when she gets to work on that particular badge, she will be joined by her friend Wilma, because at that point she will have achieved all of the badges that can only be achieved with a single Sim household. And they are the Never Again silver badge to run a 0-star resort, High Class Hotel, which is a platinum badge to run a 5-star resort, and Born Explorer to find 5 hidden islands. Now, I've done all of those things before, those 3 things before, but not in a single Sim household, and I didn't get the badges. So I'm doing them again with Carolyn. The Isla Paradiso Bunch series of videos is about the game where I did these badges previously and didn't get the badge awarded. Once all of the Isla Paradiso badges have been achieved by Carolyn, I've moved on to other badges, and the University Life badges. I don't have many of them. And Wilma will be helping Carolyn achieve those badges. I will add extra sims as required, because I'll just continue with this game, working through various badges. Now here she is. She's gone diving. She's finally got her diving skill up high enough, and she's going to go and try to harvest some kelp so she can deliver it to Nautilus Laboratories in order to progress towards the badge for finding Hidden Island. She already has at least one hidden island, which is the one she got from sailing close by. That'd be Beryl Shoals. We saw that in the first video of this series. So now here she is searching for kelp and building up her diving skill. She's going to be doing quite a lot of diving in future videos because she needs to get her diving skill up to level 10, and that takes a lot of work. But she doesn't need to get to level 10 for this badge. All she needs to do is to pick or harvest 3 pieces of kelp. And each of those pieces of kelp, you can see her going down there now, that's harvestable kelp that she's going down to. One of them will be enough. Yeah, see, she's harvested that one, and she's already got all the kelp she needs. But I'll keep her down there for a little bit longer so she can build some of her diving skill, because she's not been diving for very long, and she'll might as well get some more kelp. That fish in the foreground is one of the fish that the Sims can catch, and catching fish will also help her with her diving skill. And hopefully she'll meet a mermaid or two while she's diving, because she needs to meet mermaids to be able to get another one of the islands. But at this point we're going to concentrate on Refuge Island, which has a series of tasks that she needs to complete. So here she is. She's arrived at Nautilus Laboratories, where she is going to deliver her 3 pieces of kelp. And she's hoping that they'll tell her about Refuge Island, because that was what they promised to do. We'll see what happens. I think that sim might be stuck there outside the laboratory. I know, she's got another part of the adventure. They've given her another little job to do. Fire walk with me. Thanks for the kelp. You seem like a fine person, but are you in tune with your island spirit? Perform an act of daring and mind over matter, and then we'll talk about the island. Objective: firewalk successfully on the firewalk pit. Reward none. Well, previously, when my other Sims did this particular task, they bought their own firewalk pit. But Carolyn doesn't have any money, so she's booked into a resort with a firewalk pit. Hopefully she'll be able to have coals that are hot enough. So booking into a resort and walking on the firewalk pit at the resort apparently doesn't always guarantee success, because the coals need to be sufficiently hot, and apparently you can't set the heat of the coals at the resort. I don't know the answer to this. I haven't tried, but we're going to see what Carolyn does when she goes to use the firewalk pit at this resort. This is a big, tall resort. I forget what it's called, but it is just behind the beach where you often see her working as a lifeguard. It's got the tall blue tower. I just went and checked in my game, and I've discovered it is called a Sparkling Sands Resort, and the beach where you often see Carolyn working with the resort behind it is Sparkling Sands Beach. So she's having something to eat at the moment, or she just finished. Interesting that the plate vanished when she finished eating it. That must be a feature of the resort. Well, she's off now to try walking on the firewalk pit, and we'll see if that means that she has actually achieved her goal. Looks pretty hot to me. It's got lots of fire and stuff and cinders coming off it. Let's see what happens. I wouldn't be walking on that, that's for sure. Take a casual stroll across. She's done it. Excellent. So she can go and report in now if she wants to. But since she's paid for the resort, I'd like her to stay for the night. So I've stopped her from reporting in, and she can just enjoy the resort tonight. We might as well participate and see what's on offer here. After all, it is dark and she does need to have a rest, and she's paid for the night at the resort. She's going swimming. As if she doesn't get enough of that, but usually it's in the ocean. This time she's in the pool. She's going to have a drink at the bar. Oh no, snorkeling in the pool. That looks like fun. I thought she was going to have a drink. I suppose she's working towards her improving her diving skill. Yes, she is going to have a drink now. A resort lifestyle. That mixologist certainly knows a few tricks. Oops, jumped off the seat into the water. Have a little swim across the pool. Shows she's improved her athletic skill. That's good. That helps towards her achieving her career goals of getting to the top of her career. Not that that really matters for what we've got planned for her, because she doesn't need to get to the top of the career. She just needs to rescue 50 Sims, apparently. Oh dear, she's going skinny dipping in the hot tub. That's the view of the beach from the resort. We usually see the resort from that beach. Well, she's rescuing Sims, but now we're seeing the opposite view. You can't actually see the beach, you can just see the bay that is beyond the beach. That's a hidden island there behind that cloud, hidden under that cloud in the distance. When she's finished this particular task of finding all the hidden islands, that cloud won't be there anymore, it'll be an island. She certainly seems to be enjoying her relaxation in the hot tub. Lucky there's nobody around to steal her clothes. That's a feature of university life, apparently. A Sim can come along and steal the clothes from a skinny dipping Sim. So while she's enjoying the hot tub, we might just have a little look at the actual scenery. And there you can see the resort tower. That's the resort she's at. And you can see the beach as well now on the right there. That's the beach that you're quite familiar with if you've been watching this video series and also the Isla Paradiso bunch video series. You'll see them at that beach quite a lot. So I think that's probably about enough of Carolyn at the resort. We've got a job to do, and she needs to deliver some kelp. We can set off to Nautilus Laboratories with the kelp. You can just see the laboratory just behind that island. It's got the blue on it. There she is. The boat's just arriving there now. I think we'll find that Sim that was standing out the front is still standing out the front. So if he is, I think I'll reset him. Get him out of there. There's not much point him spending the whole game standing there until he self-combusts or something. So Carolyn's delivering the kelp. I'll use Master Controller to reset that Sim, send him home. He's gone. I didn't delete him, I reset him. So he's still back in the game, but he's been sent home, where he'll be safe. So now she's got another task to do. They don't ask much, do they? This one, Shark, a vagrant. One more thing, and this is really more a favour. Roving sharks have been interrupting my sea surveys, and it's quite a bother. As an ecologist, it's extremely important to me that you punch a shark in the face. That'll teach 'em. Objective: get in a fight with a shark. Reward: none. I suppose she's going to have to do this if she wants to get the island, and she does want to get the island because that's part of her reason for existence. In the meantime, she needs to do a house up, so I've sent her off to Stone's Throw Greenhouse, where she's collecting some suns. She can sell these for 100 simoleons each, provided she sells them quickly enough before they lose their value, and we might be able to get her some new furniture. And then she'll have a go at fighting that shark, but perhaps we ought to wait till the next episode for the shark fight. We'll see what happens. I don't think that fire pit's doing much use out here. I think it's too close to the boundary to be able to be used. After selling her suns and her wildflowers from the greenhouse and whatever else she collected there, sometimes she collect little animals, and also these things that she got from diving, she's got enough simoleons for us to be able to upgrade some of the furniture in her home. So that's what we're going to do now. We'll find her a single bed that has got good energy and perhaps even some environment points for her, because I want her bedroom to give her a 40 plus moodlet for being beautifully decorated, and environment points are important for that. She spends a lot of time sleeping. She might as well be building her lifetime happiness points while she's asleep. We'll also upgrade the bathroom once we've given her a new bed. So I've chosen an expensive sink. It's the Queen's sink that can go into the bathroom with the shower that she uses. It's set to her favourite colour. But I've decided to randomise the colours for the sink, just to make it a little bit different, because we've only got one colour combination available, and that wasn't good enough. So now I've decided to play with the style tool to give it some slightly different patterns and colours to make it personalised just for Carolyn. My current favourite fridge is the Hatahasi Anda fridge, and I choose the plain white version because the other one's got all pictures on it that I don't necessarily want. And this fridge can be recoloured to go with any kitchen. Carolyn's got some bills to pay, so she can go home and do that. And in the meantime, I will save the changes that we've made. And she's going to go diving again to see if she can fight a shark, because that's what she needs to do. I'm hoping that she might meet up with one of the mermaids too. And of course my game suffers from that bug where the mermaids don't have a tail or scales. But I've discovered that using Master Controller I can remove their mermaid occult type and then give it back to them, and when I give them the occult type back to them, they get scales on their legs immediately, even if they're underwater. And if they're underwater when they get their scales put on their legs from Master Controller, well, they just stay with scaly legs until they've been up to the surface and need to dive again. And the next time they dive, and from then on, whenever they dive, they will have their tails. But at the moment there's no mermaids around, so she's just collecting sea life that she can sell and gaining diving experience. And looks like she's got lifetime happiness as well. And here is Triton King. And as I said, he's got no scales or tail, so we'll have to fix him. I found I can do it underwater. I just do it quickly. I don't want to leave him as a human for too long, he might drown. But to just use Master Controller, go into the intermediate, I think it is, and occult type remove. Mermaid is the only occult he's got. No, he's not a mermaid anymore, so I'd better quickly make him a mermaid again. Don't know what would happen if an ordinary sim was found that deep underwater without diving gear. Now add the mermaid back and you'll see his scales will come on his legs. There they are. So he'll swim around now with scales on his legs. He won't have his tail until he's got out of the water, and when next time he goes diving, he'll have a tail. But for the moment, we've just got him with scales only. We'll have to try to get Carolyn to talk to him, because she needs to befriend a mermaid, or to get to know a mermaid quite well, because she wants a mermaid to be able to take her to the secret mermaid island. And they won't do it straight away, but it's good to cultivate every mermaid she finds, just in case one of them will eventually take her to the island. Because we're after the badge for uncovering 5 islands. I guess these two will swim around for a while now, getting to know each other. There's a goldfish you could catch. And some other sea life there. Some of the fish and things that she can catch underwater are also available to catch with bait. But the other undersea life that you can't catch by going fishing with a fishing line and bait, they don't have bait. So the good news for that is you don't have to read more fishing books to learn more baits, just because there's more sea life that you can catch, because the extra sea life doesn't have bait. Well, she's caught all of that, and she's finished chatting with Triton King. So I think it's about time she returned to the surface. She'll need to get her lungs of steel lifetime reward to be able to stay down indefinitely. Or turn into a mermaid. I don't really want her to do that. She's heading off home. Home's a place where she can rest when she needs to sleep. So there she's going to go have a sleep. We'll sell all the stuff that she doesn't need because she needs money. Gradually furnishing her home, and some of these shells and things that she's keeping, I'll just use that spare bedroom as a storeroom for the moment. She might need more money and have to sell them, or she might be able to get herself a nice display of shells. I think she wants to put her sea urchin into a fishbowl. So we need a little end table to put the fishbowl onto. I just bought that vase because I wanted to buy the vase. It's something I've got from CC and I wanted to have a look at it to see what she could do with it. And apparently the answer is nothing. It's just a decorative vase to sit there on the table. I think the real reason I got it was because it's in the alarms section of the buy catalogue, and I wanted to see if it had the properties of an alarm, but it doesn't seem to have it be. It's just a vase that's been put in the wrong spot. So when she wakes up, she can put her sea urchin into the fishbowl, give it a name. It'll probably die very quickly because she'll forget to take care of it, or I'll forget to tell her to take care of it. But in the meantime, we can enjoy seeing it in the fishbowl. Carolyn can cook herself some breakfast before she heads off to work. Looks like she's got some waffles. She must have got them out of the fridge, I think. Don't think she took enough time to be cooking something. At least with her new fridge, things should taste better now. So that's it for breakfast. And now I think she's going to have to go to work, but this is getting to the end of the video, so we won't be able to go to work with her today. That'll have to wait to the next video. So she'll clean up. And there's the paper girl outside. Apparently we're supposed to kidnap that paper girl and age her up, because somebody on the forum says that she's gorgeous as a young adult. So I might think about doing that after Wilma's moved in, because we're going to need more friends for her to share her house with. So that's it, the end of the video. Hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, and bye bye for now. Happy simming.